my word. Oh, no. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Didn't see you there. I'm just having my lunch. Ew. What do I do with these old noodles? Oh, I'm just having a delicious lunch here. It's the spicy Thai style pasta salad from Trader Joe's, and it is quite delicious. I sprinkle a little turmeric or whatever it's called on there so I don't get Alzheimer's later in life. It's really good turmeric, whatever you call it. Got some chicken in here. Sometimes I'll put some other spicy stuff on it. I've got carrots. It's a whole meal in itself. Well, not really, but it's delicious. Mm, mm. Not even gonna lie, my beard is often full of crap when I do these shows because I often, you know, eat while right before I do the show. I dropped my stuff. Damn it. I've got a nice thing of Silver Diner iced tea here. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, my sister came over this morning, and we went over to the Silver Diner here in Reston, and it had a really nice. Oh, what was it? I can't remember what it was now. It was had this really good mix of veggies, Brussels sprouts in it with some beets, had a whole bunch of cool veggies, and it had this really nice spicy sauce on it, and these tortilla things, and I don't know, it was really good. And then I came back. That was early. It was like a couple hours ago. Hung around with my sister. We went over to Target. But then I got home and I went, I'm hungry again. So that's my lunch. So anyhow, I digress. um, okay, so what I want to talk about today is WNEW, the mysteries of WNEW. Hearing a lot of rumblings yesterday. I have a lot of sources in the media business in Washington, and they were throwing things around that. I mean, I get this one thing, a well-placed source, and it is a well-placed source. I won't tell you who it is, but you guess who it is. And it says, former WTOP anchor, now WNEW PM drive anchor Evan Haining is telling colleagues he has been told his contract is not being renewed since he makes too much money and WNEW is cutting back. He's telling people that more cuts will be coming before around the first of the new year. Anyhow, a lot of rumblings now. Basically, more rumblings that, how much longer is CBS going to try this experiment? CBS launched at WNEW 99.1. Remember, 99.1 used to be the cool HFS until 2005, pulled the plug on it, put Spanish El Zal there for a couple of years, and then back in early 2012, they moved El Zal over to 107.9, which they purchased, and they put the All Newser on 99.1. And everyone was saying, nah, this ain't going to work. And I said that. I said, unless CBS does a couple things, this ain't going to work. And it's been 2.5 years now, a little over that, and the station still hasn't cracked the top 20, okay? When you get the radio ratings, it's 26th, 25th. Sometimes it gets up to 23rd. There was a couple demos where it was actually up to almost 20th place. But it's never actually, in any significant sense, got over 20th place in the ratings. And that's 2.5 years. And this is an expensive format to run. When you're doing all news, it's a lot of money. You're paying a lot of salaries. You got editors, you got news anchors, you got whatever. It's expensive. And if you're not getting the ratings, you need big ratings out of it. You need big ad revenue. TOP, the rival over there, Hubbard's WTOP, which has been there forever, hasn't been dented one iota in the last 2.5 years. They're still all chronically number one. The last radio ratings, revenue things, they made, I don't know, $60 million and NEW made $1 million or something. I don't know. And that's even more whack, the difference between that. And so what's the deal? I mean, what's going to happen? One of my radio gurus today emails me and says, WNEW is draining the whole CBS radio cluster of 5 stations here in Washington. There's so much money pouring into this without any result. And so CBS goes and about a couple months ago says, okay, let's start re-imaging WNEW to cover the area that we serve. Their signal area is the transmitters in Anne Arundel County, which is near it's near Bowie, Maryland, Crofton, Maryland over there. It's kind of on the eastern edge of the metro, but they do cover Baltimore pretty well. So let's image the station as maybe a Maryland, Baltimore-y newsy thing, DC and Baltimore, but let's leave out Northern Virginia, kind of, When Northern Virginia is the big money kahuna thing in the Washington Metro. Oh, and it hasn't worked. The ratings still aren't where they want to be. So now NEW they're doing weird things with it. They're putting sports on it now. So the Wizards are going to be on WNEW, and they're putting from football games on there, and they're kind of diluting the all news brand, so to speak. And I wouldn't be surprised if they start putting talk on the station, like signing up some talker for midday or overnights or something, and just doing news blocks in the morning, afternoon. I don't know. It sounds to me like that's cost cutting. It's fewer, you have fewer news hours on the station. It costs less money. Don't have to, So I wouldn't be surprised if they start taking the station more down that road. I don't know. But again, a couple things they missed the ball on, and I said this 2.5, 3 years ago when they first announced they were going to be doing an all news on 99.1. First thing was the signal. Signal. They haven't done anything about that. Okay, 99.1 is a pretty good signal. Okay, it's kind of out there in Anne Arundel County, which is about 25 miles from DC Central. Okay, it's not an inside the Beltway signal. It has some signal problems in Northern Virginia. They needed to get on another signal in Northern Virginia, especially Northern Virginia. Fairfax County has 1.2 million people. It's got twice as many people as the District of Columbia. You need to blanket cover Fairfax County. You need to get into wealthy Loudoun County. You need to do that. And they, even though you can hear NEW, you can. It comes in on a car radio, and a good radio with an antenna comes in just fine. But cheap effing clock radios that people have by their beds, it doesn't. It's lost in there between Hot 99.5 and Country WMZQ. So they needed to do that. They haven't done that. They could have bought 99.9 out of Frederick and made it News 99, 99.1 out of Maryland or out of Crofton, or wherever the hell they are, Bowie, and 99.9 out of Frederick. That would have given them really, really, really good coverage. They could have made a deal with Cumulus to maybe put WNEW on the 6:30 signal of WMAL, because obviously most of their listeners are now on 105.9, and then they could have had an AM/FM combo there, 6:30 in the western suburbs and 99 in the eastern suburbs, and they could have done that. They had to do something. They could have rejiggered their signals and made 99.1 and 106.7 both WNEW, and gotten rid of Fresh and put JFK on 94.7. There's a bunch of things they could have done they didn't do. So now, and then the other thing they could have done, website. Again, they just used the friggin' CBS template. They should have gone all out and made a really cool, excellent website. They didn't do that. They hired TOP's guy over. I don't know why. It's just it's a template CBS website. It doesn't work for Washington. It doesn't work for the unique position WNEW is in. Promotion. They didn't do promotion. I mean, really, they didn't do significant promotion. I don't think so. They could have done more with that. They did a little bit of an alliance there with Channel 9, the CBS affiliate, the Gannett-owned CBS affiliate in Washington. They should have done more of that. TOP, so many miraculous things TOP's done with Jim Farley and Laurie Cantillo over the years. Getting the signals on 3 FMers in the Washington market. Excellent website. Sometimes slow to load, but other than that, it's an excellent website. The whole thing with WFED and using that federal government stuff to bringing in those big government dollars, from all the lobbyists and all that. That's been huge. Even though nobody listens to WFED other than a handful of people, it's still, for a little dinkwat AM station, it isn't really a little dinkwat station, but I mean, it's 50,000 watts. You can hear it in Sweden, but you can't hear it in northern Montgomery County. But still, it brings in that government dollar thing that makes TOP's revenue go up. And they were trying to do that a little bit with WNEW on 1580, and it didn't work. They've just misstep after misstep. And they could have reimaged WNEW to be something that TOP wasn't. Maybe more of a hardcore news wheel, or put a little more talk in the mix, or do something to differentiate it from WTOP, but they didn't do that. And misstep after misstep, and I realize what's going on there. You've got corporate people. You've got Steve Swenson and all the other folks that work at NEW. This is corporate. You're trying to do something unique in a unique market here. You've got a unique situation, and the dopes at CBS Radio are these corporate clowns, and you can't get anything done. You see that over and over again in corporate radio today. Everybody's afraid to do anything because their jobs. So you just sit there and you watch a station die. And you just sit there and, okay, the corporate bean counters are don't do anything too radical, and we'll just watch the station die, and then one day you pull the plug and put oldies on it or something like that. I don't know. But anyhow, I told them way back 2.5, 3 years ago, they needed to do this, and this, especially the signal thing, the better promotions, do something unique, better website, and they didn't do any of that, and look where they are now. Still sitting there flailing at 2.5 years. I mean, they could keep going. Maybe 2015 something will happen. I don't know. Maybe an asteroid will come down from the gods in space and land right on Idaho Avenue and knock them out for a while, and all of a sudden WNEW will come to the rescue. I mean, maybe that'll happen. There's a minute but distinct chance that could happen. I don't know. But I don't know. That's the joy of working for corporate radio, I guess. It's why I would have never succeeded in that. I put on a suit and tie, cut off the beard, and yes, sir, Mr. Mason, we'll do that, sir, yes, sir. Destined for failure. It's still, stuck in the mud, WNEW. I don't know. Nice people over there, I have to say. There's some really nice people over there. Some good guys that went from TOP over there. I like their news director guy. He's a nice guy. I've never met Steve Swenson, but he seems like a charming chap. But man, it's a mess. And they haven't done anything. They're sitting there watching it. It's like when CBS launched the Globe here on 94.7 what was it, back in 2007 or something. Great station. And everybody just sat there and just watched it die. 2 years later, they flipped it over to Fresh. And that's kind of the way corporate radio works these days. Everybody's scared to death to do something out of the box, but what do you do? I don't know. So anyhow, will WNEW be here at the start of 2015? I'd say there's a 57% chance it will be, but there's also a 43% chance it won't be. And I think that chance that it won't be continues to rise as long as they can't get that damn station above 20th place in the ratings. And I don't know. I don't know what's going to do that. I just don't know. So anyhow, that's my WNEW rant for the day. I felt like I needed to get that out. Whew. Delicious. All right, folks. Thanks for watching Dave TV for the 20th of September, 2014. And as Bill Lord says from this Caribbean island, book 'em, Dano.